Alright, so here we go. We're finally into our match. Vengeful Spirit Ricky combo. This is kind of a weird lineup for RAVE. It's not really something you see a whole lot in many Dota 2 games. Not really sure about that one.
Seconds to battle.
Okay. So Ricky's just going to scout out the dire side a little bit. Morphling's gone for the full agility build. 340 health on him. Probably might want to look for a little bit more at some point, but you know, there's not a whole lot of harass that is going to come his way. And actually, the Ricky decides to go for the OD. Going to take some harass as a result of it. I don't think they're going to waste any detection here. In fact, oh, here's sick. He doesn't have any detection though. So we can go over our lane matchups here since we didn't really introduce the heroes at all. In the off lane, first Soggy mid is going to be Ferb playing the Faceless Void. He's up against the Aki Vengeful Spirit and Edouard on the Storm Spirit. At mid, we're going to have a Ricky played by Shoryuken, and then Invoker is going to be played by Ju. WWD is going to be on the OD for the dire side, and then Six playing the Earth Spirit. And then for Leyenda, that's going to be an offlane Tidehunter for RAVE. And he's going to be in the jungle for the most part, but if he were to show up to the offlane, it's going to be Futsa on the Shadow Demon, and I Annihilate playing the Morphling. OT's going to take a lot of harass here from the Ricky, and he's actually right up against the creeps. Luckily, the OT's pretty tanky at this point, 700 health on him. So he really doesn't have to care too much about the Ricky, and if he really starts to get into trouble, he can just go for the Astral once he levels that up. But OT is actually fairly tanky at this point. Just going to steal a couple of levels away here from the Tidehunter, making his leveling up a little bit slower here. He's actually going to eat that tree. I don't think he has vision of it, but no, he still has no vision of the Earth Spirit though. Oh, he actually rolls in there. He's gotten very low. That's the first blood. I was kind of taking a look at the courier, but I thought that was going to happen, and the courier ends up going down at mid. So at least Ricky's able to get that. The bottle, it did end up delivering the thing to OD, and now he has Dust, so he can go onto the Invoker at any time. Oh, and Vengeful Spirit. There's lots of stuff going over at bottom. Just a couple kills going around. Oh well. Who wants to watch it anyway, am I right? So a few kills to start out here. Soggy mids are on top. But who's on bottom? That's the real question. Quite honestly, I don't see RAVE's lineup really doing a lot of work in this game at all. They basically have they're basically relying on the teamfight control of the Tidehunter to be able to set up a few kills for them. But if Soggy mids are able to win this early game, RAVE have basically nowhere to go. And they don't have too much of a comeback mechanism. Very early Soul Ring for Edouard. And Ferb, he can get aggressive onto him. Without Edouard having a way to get out, if the Void is able to get some good bashes, like this Storm Spirit is going to very quickly go down. Luckily though, the Storm Spirit doesn't need a whole lot of help right now against the Void. He's not being too aggressive, and he does have two supports in the near vicinity, so if there is any kind of aggression from the Void, the Storm Spirit should be fine. Alright, there's going to be another roll here onto Ju. Pushes him back, and that's going to be an EMP drop down. Showing that a little bit early, but he's able to stay alive. Now at bottom, Ferb in a little bit of trouble, gets stunned up by the Vengeful Spirit, but that is the end of that one. And he'll just run over to the rune spot. Maybe he's able to get it over the Ricky, but I feel like the Ricky's just going to take it. But he's not really thinking about it, and he actually does get the bounty. Now there's going to be the dust from the Earth Spirit, and the Ricky puts down that smoke screen. Is he going to be able to get away? There's a lot of damage here. Time walk back. Shoryuken trying to get up, but the smash on the rock takes him down. I'm a little bit surprised that the Riki did not pick up the rune there. I don't think it's something that Ferb was going to be expecting for the Riki to be there. So there are like ways to make sure that you get the bounty rune on the Riki. That may also be a problem of lag. These servers are US East, and the Peruvians are probably going to get some not great, so great ping to it. WD going around the smoke screen here in mid. I mean, the Peruvians should still do okay, and there are a lot of teams that still, they perform very well on US East servers, so I would never discount them. And some games they might just outright beat opponents hard enough that it doesn't matter. Morphling could be in trouble. Gonna go underneath tower. He's gonna need to go for some strength morph up. He's getting very low. What? Annihilate, please, son. Please get some health. He's trying to play this like just on the brink of it, and he's able to stay alive. Please, sir, don't make me so scared. Oh, WD could be in a little bit of trouble. But there's no mana here from Invoker, so a cold snap probably could have secured that kill. Unfortunately, the haste of the Riki is going to go a little bit to waste now. Wasted haste. Still seeing some pretty massive problems for the Storm Spirit. Like, his farm isn't terrible. He's 26 for 4, pretty much even with the Faceless Void. And yeah, I guess that makes sense with the lack of help that the lack of help that the Storm Spirit has. Is always gonna have to be worried about the Faceless Void Chrono. And remember, we have the Earth Spirit just waiting over here. So Ferb, he's gonna get that overcharge damage, and oh, he's very low. Is he able to get the time walk off? Yes, he does, and the stun from the Earth Spirit also helped him survive there. And the Blink Strike not gonna be in range from Riki. So Mr. Void, he's able to just go over and deny himself. No, he's just gonna go back to base. He could have possibly denied himself to Roche, but he always has to be careful of the Lion. Or wow, the Riki coming in. Sometimes it's a bounty hunter that does that, but he also have to be careful of the Riki being 1 in XP range and then 2 coming in to get the kill when he goes for the Roche deny. He probably had enough time there, and we all saw that he did, but he didn't want to take that chance, which makes a lot of sense for him. Futsa could get caught out here. We ended just running around, going in the jungle. He really doesn't get a whole lot of room right now. He also doesn't have that Iron Town, so he's not going to find too much. Now Chronosphere on the mid lane. Ju, that's going to be a stun, which finishes off the kill for him. So a 3-man rotation in the first Chrono of the game. It kills the Invoker, and well, also top. They're also able to find a kill with a huge damage from the Soul Catcher. Some of the time, this is a skill that's extremely undervalued, and whoa, creeps are blocking Futsa in here. They're going to make an illusion to try to tank this, but or actually keep the Morphling in lane a little bit longer. Tower's pretty low. He was getting pretty close to going down there, and that's one of those situations you just do not want to get stuck underneath the tower. With the Shadow Demon, like someone can easily TP in there and get a kill, but luckily no one was really wanting to do anything about it. Oh, Edouard in a lot more trouble. That's a silence, and Earth Spirit's also able to find it with the ole, 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 Pele kick. Oh, value ultimate right there for the OD, and the Vengeful Spirit is going to die. He gets a swag TP out. So right now, Soggy Mitts, they're taking most of the kills on the map right now, looking pretty good in nearly every single aspect. Their Morphling is getting his farm up fairly quickly, nothing really to contest him. Void had a great lane bottom, and OD hasn't died too much mid. In fact, hasn't died at all. So yeah, Soggy Mitts having a start to this game that's pretty much going to put the nail in the coffin for the Peruvian squad. I mean, I'm no Peruvian hater. Let's just get that straight real quick. I love seeing Infamous play. I saw them win the COD League last night, which was a really good experience. Got to see them play against I saw them play against Perky Pepperonis last night, and that was a hype match. Had to come back from a 1-game deficit from the winners bracket and win that one. It was a lot of fun to see them play. Just one of the problems sometimes is these teams, they go for some kind of wonky lineups that don't always work. And there's some pretty obvious weaknesses here for the RAVE squad. Oh. Storm Spirit's able to get away from mid or bottom. Or is he though? Is he? Roll's going to be in from the Earth Spirit. Gets a silence onto Edouard. Edouard has nowhere to go. One more hit's going to do it. And they will get it with the Shadow Demon. Poison was enough to secure the kill. Now they're going to get a disruption here for the Invoker. Invoker's going to try to get out, but he's very low on mana, trying to go over to that bounty rune. Can he get the value? No, he's going to get stunned up, and he's not even going to get that one. Sick picks it up, gets a little bit towards his next level. And to also make the Invoker feel pretty bad.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Right now, Soggy Mitts are just a bit too far ahead for RAVE to be able to deal with. And, well, this game number 1 looking like a pretty easy lock in the first 10 minutes for Soggy Mitts. Biased caster is biased. Not really. It's just kind of an accurate assessment at this point. Like, a lot of the time, if there's a chance that people can come up, there's going to be a tornado here on the WWD, has that Astron person available, does use it on himself, but now he might be even more trouble. Smokescreen gets put down. Stun actually hits, but sick. He's running right through the smoke, and he's going to get silenced through it. Now, a RAVE, they could make a difference here. WWD could be in a bit of a pickle. Cold Snap comes through. WWD actually going to move up forward. That's going to be a silence and the ultimate from the OD. Ricky's able to get away a little bit, but actually no. He's nearly down. Is he going to be able to regen at all? Nope. Another Urn of Shadows, and the kick in from Pele is able to secure the kill. So 3 down on mid. OD gets a pretty big twofer. And they also get a mid lane tower out of it. So map control, kill control going the way of Soggy Mitts, and it seems like the same story again and again. And they're not even worrying about an Annihilate right now. He's going for a bit more of a defensive build with the Lincolns. I guess that's to stop either the Vengeful Spirit or the Storm Spirit, maybe a little bit of the Invoker. But I don't think it's necessarily needed this match. I would really like to see him go for something a bit more aggressive, especially considering how his team is playing. They're getting most of the kills on the map. They're not really having to worry about the weaknesses of their lineup up against us. Ricky's scouting him out. Oh, Storm Spirit going right for Futsa. And, well, the Tornado a little bit off the mark. Edouard in a lot of trouble. He's gone down. And a nice save from the OD is going to keep the Shadow Demon alive for a little bit longer. Not able to survive the Ricky, though. Ravage comes through. Ferb is completely okay, though. And OD just goes right into the middle of it. Magnetize is chasing down the Radiant squad. They may even easily take down the Tide Hunter, who's supposed to be the tanky one here. And the OD does. One of the heroes that really doesn't worry about the Tide Hunter's Kraken Shell or inherent armor at all. And that's going to be a full 5-man team wipe for the side of Soggy Mitts, just rolling right over RAVE. 3 kills to 18 and 13 minutes into the match. Things are looking to be pretty terrible right now for RAVE. It's at the point where just a good Ravage combo or just a Ravage by itself doesn't help RAVE. I mean, it wasn't a bad Ravage. We haven't even seen a Morphling this match, though. I mean, he's just taking the tier 2 top. The vision's been kind of messed up for a while, so I can't really show you how little the Radiant squad sees, but just take my word for it. It's not that great. Alright, I made a little circle on the map. Doesn't really signify anything. I was just testing out my drawing tool, making sure that it worked. And with that tower, a couple of those tower kills, Soggy Mitts go right into the Roche Pit. Hurricane Pike first item for OD. There's a Vlad's on Faceless Void. And right now, I don't even know if Soggy Mitts have to go for another set of items. Ravage down for 60 seconds. Really nothing else on the Tide Hunter. Elsewhere on the map, the Shadow Demon feeding a little bit over. Needs to make this match somewhat close. Oh, OD could get caught out right now. And he doesn't have the Aegis. Some good vision given by those observer wards there. Ricky's able to get out. In any case, even with that Shadow Demon down for a little bit, RAVE were still on the back foot, and we're pretty scared to go up against an OD who all he needs are a couple of auto attacks or arcane orbs, and then puts down the ult, and RAVE are absolutely wrecked. Ricky puts down the smoke screen to try to slow down this push, but it's really not going to do that much. Roll forward from Sick, uses the dust, but it's way off the mark from him. So he's going to put that on cooldown. That makes the Ricky feel a little bit safer against this push. Can kind of move around a little bit more freely, but the burst damage from Soggy Mitz is still pretty high. And the Invis is only level 1. He's gone for a full level on the smoke screen, which I kind of like in this situation. He really needs to spam it out and have that big radius and mischance to be able to stop this push. Tornado EMP coming through. And it's going to be the Chronosphere on the backside on the 3. Ravage, it's there, and it's going to hit most of them, actually all on the outside of it. And now, okay. Snares Eclipse onto the Tidehunter makes him very dead in a very quick amount of time. I Annihilate, he's so tanky. Trying to kill Futsa if they can. I have a feeling that this match is not going to end for quite a while, though. Even the Storm Spirit isn't able to ball lightning out. First strikes of the game, maybe quickly going to the side of Soggy Mitz, and Invoker's just kind of staring, looking and saying, what do I do here? 1,500 gold changed the way of Soggy Mitz, but I don't even think they care about at this point. Tornado EMP combo going to hit on the 2. And all of that mana of Ferb is going to be stolen away. OD's able to imprison himself to stop that mana burn, or that EMP. Whatever it does to the mana, makes it disappear somehow. And Soggy Mitz just go over to mid. They may think about backing up right now, especially without the creeps. They don't want to tank the tower too much and have to deal with the Radiant squad. But now with the creeps here, they can just feel free to go in mid. And what's this Morphling doing? Going over to the secret shop to pick up an Eagle Song. 4 staff away, or Hurricane Pike away, as they call it for WWD. 3,000 gold in the bank. And we're just going to move up here. Going in on this tower. Ricky's trying to do everything he can to try to spam out. Here comes the Storm Spirit going right for WWD, but the disruption is going to be there, and Eduard's been silenced up. Absolutely wrecked here. Down for 45 seconds. Has buyback available, but I highly doubt he really wants to use it here. Tornado goes through. Ricky in tons of trouble. Able to use that magic wand and gets wrecked by OD. Double kill for him. Eduard trying to come in. He used that buyback, seeing if he can do anything, and the Chrono Spirit is going to be there. Goodbye, Storm Spirit. No buyback for you. Hurricane Pike. So much damage for the Vengeful Spirit. I love this item on the OD. It lets him get that big damage output from so far away. That's going to be GG called. Soggy Mitz 27 kills to 5 in 17.5 minutes. This is one of those matches that was quite difficult to watch, and I might have covered my eyes a couple times. Alright, so that's going to do it for game number 1 of this 2-game set. And we will be right back with game number 2 in just a couple moments. Soggy Mitz taking it pretty convincingly over Rivals and Virtual Enemies. Stay tuned. I'm Pythian. You can follow me at PythianLegume on Twitter, as well as on twitch.tv/PythianLegume. And as always, I like the way you look today. Cheers.